right back. You know how it is, man. Great post. Great fight week. Primarily what everybody's talking about, you know, the co-main event and the main event. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bruce Ennis. He did his thing. You know, has a bright future in the sport of boxing, and also, you know, when it comes down to his performance, I just look at it like, you know, he performed the way he should versus a fighter like Custio Clayton. A big part of me feels like Clayton didn't put max effort into trying to go in there to win. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't get that from him. The fight only lasted 2 rounds. He actually slipped underneath Jerron in his right hand, and it landed on the top of the head. It didn't even seem like, you know, the impact of the punch would have had that effect on him, because he was in the process of slipping it, and it didn't land flush, in my opinion. It just hit him on the back of the head. I mean, it was a downward punch. I'm not saying a downward punch. You get hit with an overhand right sometime, you know, according to who's sending it. You know, they can send that punch, and it can land to be pretty effective. Boots is not a wild fighter like that. So he pretty much lined his punches up real nice. And I didn't think Clayton slipping underneath it and the punch landing on the back of his head, I just didn't get that effect from sitting in my living room and off of sitting in my room that it hit him that hard. But once again, I wasn't in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there holding the gloves for the left or right. But dude might not had all the confidence in the world to get up there and think he can defeat Ennis. You know, confidence is everything. I don't think he had the confidence, bro. I don't think he had the confidence. He had the confidence to split the ropes. But when he took on his, you know what I'm saying, his Jerry 4.6 tumbling routine, you know, I'm like, what is this dude doing? You know, he's all wobbling around and shit, getting up like he's got damn Bambi or something. I'm like, dude, you didn't even get popped in the chin. You didn't even get hit on the lower part of your neck. You just was touched on the backside of your head. And this dude went into a tumbling series. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was, what's her name? Gabby Douglas and shit. I thought this cat was Gabby Douglas. I thought Custio Clayton turned into Gabby Douglas or something, man. Like, what the fuck? I'm driving, so I'll try to get to y'all chats. Bruce Gas on deck. King Mitch with it, what's good? I would definitely try to read y'all chats, but you know, when it comes down to this highway shit, you know how that goes. I know everybody want me to talk about the main event, man. Look, I was hard on Charlo for a reason. You know, his attitude to me sucked. My criticism of him, you know, I was pretty much saying he got to step up and accept the challenge, and I got to give him his, you know, respect. He went in there and got the job done against Brian Castaño. He did. You know, much respect to Charlo. I'm still not a fan. I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he as a fighter won. You know what I'm saying? all this blackness that goes into it. Yeah, he's a brother who has treated plenty of other black people wrong. Now, I'm just gonna call it the way it is. I was happy to see him get the titles and go into history and join an elite community of individuals in the forebear era to become undisputed. Real talk. Man, you talking about Jermaine Taylor B-Hop. Come on, man. Terrence Crawford. Man, you're in a crazy community. Otis and the Usyk, Josh Taylor. You're in a crazy community. Elite community of fighters that you've become undisputed with, bro. That's good shit. No way, no how can I deny him, you know, that respect and showing him, you know, love when it comes to what he accomplished yesterday, becoming the first to become, you know, forebear era 154 undisputed period. And he fought smart. He fought smart. The only thing I can say is, I hate to use this terminology as boxing, but it is. Like, I can sit up here and make all the jokes in the world and say, you know what, that lion was fighting off the back foot, you know, the entire fight. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day, unless you're temporary, that you don't recognize that he fought a smart fight. Jermell Charlo fought a smart fight. You know what I'm saying? What happened? What did Errol Spence do with Sean Porter? Somewhat similar styles, just like Brian Castano. They came forward, and the stronger fighter weathered the storm and landed some crushing counter shots on Brian Castano. And I was saying to myself, damn, if Castano walked through these punches and get to the later fight, how is his conditions gonna be? You know, how is he gonna get past this? Does he have it in him to get past these hard punches? Because you could tell Jermell was a stronger fighter. He was the bigger fighter in there. And he looked strong when he was landing those counter shots on Brian. And then I started to see Castano wither. I started to see him degrade. I started to see Charlo now catching him with those hard shots, because he committed to the body early. Because I was like, damn, he's really landing those body shots too. And that's another question mark that came up. I was like, hey, is Castano going to be able to handle these body shots? You know, how hard is Charlo punching power right now to Castano? Because early in the fight, he had a damn good poker face, y'all. And Charlo took that poker face away. You know, the one way you can goddamn take a poker face away is goddamn knock all the cards off the table. And we all know, in so many words, what that means by knocking all the cards off the table. You finish and devastate. Knockout. You know, and that's what it was, man. He dropped him twice. And then the second one, he got it, you know, he finished the job. So kudos to Charlo, man, for going in there and putting on the show. Finally not being one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take somebody's head off. It was a good fight, man. I seen an interview with what he had, a post-fight interview where he was pretty much going in on Mike Coppinger. And you know, Mike Coppinger, he do insult and criticize a lot of fighters. You know what I'm saying? He criticized a lot of fighters. And Charlo let it be known that he is criticizing a lot of fighters. And now you got to give me my respect. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Mike Coppinger got that one-on-one from Charlo, is it going to change how he report? No. He's probably happy that Charlo gave him all that love. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by love is that the fact that he acknowledged that Charlo tunes in to the negative shit he be saying. But ultimately, Jim Gray asked Charlo, he say, what's going on with all the calmness you usually on a whole nother level? Look, I don't know. Him and his brother was on their best behavior. I don't know if because his pops was in the building. I don't know. But both of these guys was on their best behavior, even at the weigh-in. And Charlo was very calm, even in his victory. And, you know, people, you know, they always come in here and try to insinuate that you don't like a fighter and it's personal. Well, you have to look at what I look through. You know, I have two sets, I have two eyeballs. I have a pair of eyeballs, right? And I have two ears, right? And when I sit up here and look at these individuals and see them acting a fool in public, I have every right to collect the data and assume what I want, especially if it's clear, concise behavior. Like, these dudes have been known to try to tear people down, and the same Africans they was trying to rally to the you know, rally to the take to the rally point are the same Africans that they was dogging out over and over again that competed in the same ring. You're competing in the same ring. Black or not, you're competing in the same ring. And I've seen too many times where it was just like, damn, you know, you just disrespecting your own people. But now you want to wear the USA flag. All right, kudos, but it's going to take a lot more PR to get people on your side. It's going to be people that's up here that was feeling the same way I did. They're not going to admit it. And now they're going to jump on the Charlo bandwagon. I'm not. I feel the exact same way. The way he performed in the ring don't change shit with me. You know, it is what it is. I just think he has a big mouth. He disrespects his own people. And, you know, when it comes down to it, if you have criticism to say about him, you know, they always going to talk about where they feel you at monetarily. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be about, you know, rocking with the Charlos. You know what I'm saying? Where do you stand with the Charlos? Do you have more money than me with the Charlos? Keeping up with the Charlos. And that's not the way I do it, man. I mean, I'm only one person. I'm not even 1% of the population, bro. I'm not 1% of my people's population. So I don't care to entertain it that much. I just know that when I keep on hearing, you know, them call people broke, the consumers, you know, you're calling the consumers broke. You're treating us like we're subordinates. It's up to us on whether we choose to feel like we're subordinates. I don't feel like I'm subordinate because I know deep down inside the Charlos can't stop boxing today. They can say they're being paid well and all that, but that lifestyle you living, you can't stop boxing today. You can't stop boxing, bro. Neither one of y'all. Y'all have a lifestyle that you have to upkeep. When I was your age, I only had what? I damn near had like a couple or several more years before I get up out there and get my DD-214 and retire. Two different sports, two different careers, all that. But like I said, man, I give him his respect for going in there and performing the way he did. Big shout out to him. It was entertaining watching him go in there and come up and have a different game plan, be more patient, really sit down and dig on his punches in the mid rounds. You know, really keep Brian Castano honest in those mid rounds too. When he turned the corner, he turned it slightly. You know, he did a column half. He did a column half, you know, on that turn. He didn't go all out on the turn. When he got to the turning point, he didn't go all out with it. He gradually turned and started shifting that momentum. Castano, he fought one-dimensional, man. And when you going in there with a hitter like Charlo, and you want to keep on coming forward, you better goddamn have some cojones the whole way through, a certified chin, and you gotta have the motherfucking diesel fuel the entire way through that fight to withstand him. Look, a boxer can easily beat Charlo, in my opinion. I just don't hope that he's comfortable 154 and choose to stay there longer than he needs to. In my opinion, he should defend against Sebastian Fundora, knock his ass out, because I truly believe that Charlo could knock out. What's going on, everyone in the chat, man? I'm driving, so I appreciate y'all dropping your comments. I think he should go there and fight Sebastian Fundora, a guy who's coming off stopping Erickson Lubin, a guy who Jermell Charlo stopped. He stopped Erickson Lubin. When you want to talk about emphatic fashion, we all know who did it better. You know, TKO stoppage, knockout. You know what I'm saying? Now, once again, I like how this boxing shit works sometime, very rarely. Comment that Sebastian Fundora was in the building. He was back there looking. And he had to understand and think to himself, you know, man, Jermell Charlo is definitely going to be a problem, because the one equalizer that wasn't there with Erickson Lubin was the punching power. You know what I'm saying? It was the punching power for him to kind of break Castano down. We ain't talking about the knockout. I'm talking about breaking him down. Jermell Charlo broke Castano down. Sebastian Fundora, Erickson Lubin couldn't break him down to the point where he can land those shots, because after he got the knockdown, it was over. That he dumped it all right there. It was a wrap. He didn't have nothing left. See, that's not going to be the case with Charlo. He's proven that he can stop his opponents in the later rounds. You know what I'm saying? He's proven he can do the shit. He's proven he has cardio and a gas tank to take him to the back end of the fight. I have to give him his props, bro. I have to give him his flowers on that. The man can go into the later rounds and get the knockout. That's real bad for Sebastian Fundora. Charlo's power is real bad for Sebastian Fundora. If Erickson Lubin knock you down in the fight, what do you think of Charlo, who's much more active in the pocket? Take that pocket fighting against Charlo, and I guarantee you that Sebastian Fundora gets stopped. You want to fight on the inside like you did Nathaniel Gallimore, like you did what's his name? Not Erickson Lubin, but the dude from Buffalo. His name Donnie. I forgot his name. But you want to take that mentality and fight on the inside like you did those guys. None of them are Jermell Charlo. And I'm telling you, people, if Erickson Lubin can drop Sebastian Fundora, Jermell Charlo's gonna stop him. He's gonna stop him, man. Because one thing he dedicated to with Castano is a body attack. Can you imagine Jermell Charlo's body attack against a tall fighter like Sebastian Fundora? He's gonna fold that guy. After a while, it's gonna take a little bit like Castano. You know, it's gonna take a little bit. But his body is gonna be right there, more accessible for him to get that in. I'll see y'all in the chat, man. Thank y'all for pulling up. You know, the way I feel about Charlo has nothing to do with my assessment. The man went in there and fought a very entertaining fight we ain't seen in a good minute. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That Charlo Castano fight was more entertaining than Spence Yadina Zugas. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm just gonna keep it honest with you. If Errol Spence was to face Jermell Charlo, I'd go with Jermell Charlo. Much more stronger fighter. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, we probably will never see that fight. But the Tyrant Inferno is man next. You know what I'm saying? The Tyrant Inferno, he got next up, bro. That fight's gonna be huge. But he in there with a different dude. I have to give him his props. Like Jermell Charlo, he ain't no chump. He ain't, man. Jermell Charlo is no chump, man. Even though they act like it in public. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just don't like them as people. Especially being black fighters. That's just me. You know, there's people on here that say they ain't fanboys, but yet, you know, they be up here afraid to criticize their own people that's acting like total idiots. You feel me? Like they show inferiority themselves. You want to be a part of something that you don't 100% agree with. And that's the way somebody treats you. Would you allow that same individual to eat at your dinner table and talk to you the same way in front of your family? No. That's the way I look at shit. Am I going to invite you in my house? And outside of this, I really don't have shit to say to you? No. Am I going to invite you in front of my family? And there's any slight fear of you turning up or basically becoming belligerent in front of my family, just like this YouTube shit. You know what I'm saying? Some cats, they look at it like, you know what? I'm this way with my family and my kids. They see me as that, but on YouTube, I'm all about the hoism. But back to boxing. I want to see that Sebastian Fundora fight. I really think Jermell Charlo can stop this cat. It's only a matter of time, man. It's only a matter of time. I do not see Jermell Charlo losing to Sebastian Fundora. I don't see that shit, dog. Look, if Jermell Charlo vacate the titles, Sebastian Fundora is going to be champion. But if he's fighting and defending his undisputed titles against Sebastian Fundora, I do not see Charlo losing to this guy. I don't see it. I see this guy being stopped. Erickson Lubin proved he can be dropped. Not only could he be dropped, we're talking about a guy in Erickson Lubin. He's nicknamed the Hammer, but he don't have the power, the staying power of a Jermell Charlo. And also he got knocked down after the halfway point of the fight. How is he going to survive that punching power and cardio of Charlo? If you remember the fight, man, they showed Sebastian Fundora. He was sitting behind. I forgot who he was sitting behind. Errol Spence, I believe. No, not Errol Spence, was it? He might have been sitting behind Errol Spence. He was just sitting there looking like a nerdy kid. And don't get me wrong, Sebastian Fundora can box his ass off, you know. But looking at last night, you know, Jermell Charlo is 2-0 in rematches. And he's proven he can get the knockout in later rounds. That's all bad for Sebastian Fundora. It's all bad, man. It's all bad. That shit is all bad, bro. I got to stand on my square the way I always have. You know what I'm saying? There's not too many footprints inside my square. That's the way it's always been. You know, the lower number of people you got to deal with keeps that stress off you. from trying to find out who's the disloyal people who trying to stab you in your back. You know what I'm saying? I stand on mine. I give him his credit as a boxer. I do believe he defeats Sebastian Fundora, and that was a very entertaining fight. I thought it was a way better fight than Errol Spence and Dina Zugas. You know, looking at that, I don't think Errol Spence defeats Charlo. A boxer, not a fighter like Errol Spence that has the same style as Brian Castano, pretty much. Come on, y'all. This shit ain't rocket scientist. Errol Spence will get knocked the fuck out if he comes in there with that same forward aggressive style towards Jermell Charlo. That's the same shit Brian Castano tried. Tony Harrison did it, and he ended up picking up the belt. He did it in a fact. His boxing style was that boxing, taking his time. He picked up the belt. But Errol Spence do it in that same style? Nah. That Castano style, straightforward, online, it ain't gonna happen, bro. Errol Spence will get his ass stopped. Man, why are y'all stopping on the freaking highway because of the ambulance? Are you stupid? Good Lord, man. You want to put on brakes on the highway? Man, why the ambulance all the way on the outside lane and you got to take that exit on the inside? But I know everybody, you know, was waiting to see what I had to say about Jaron Ennis putting that fish hook out there for Errol Spence. Once again, Jaron Ennis put the fish hook out there, put that reel out there. He casted that reel. He casted the reel out there for that fish. This is what gets me excited, right? This is what gets me excited about that. Because they've been trying so hard just to put Ennis off on Bud, saying he didn't have nobody to fight, which was one of the stupidest narratives out there. Because, you know, we all trying to get the fight. You know, we got to name it as that the fight. We're trying to get the fight. There's no need for us to put their names to it no more. We're trying to get the fight. So Jaron Ennis cast the reel. That was the IBF eliminator. The Undisputed will pretty much supersede that. It's all up to what Errol Spence chooses to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's with the PBC. We can't really sit up here and say, oh, it's a 50-50 fight. Then why haven't Bud sent the contract? Bud is not signed with anybody. You know, the Bud thrill seekers, they want him to go over there and just lay at the mercy of PBC and sign anything. But as you heard Errol Spence say last night, he said we both want the fight, much more calm, composed, you know, much more articulated. Both of us want the fight. Fight's gonna happen. We're talking. We're in the talking stages, which the talking stages tell us nothing. Very little details. I mean, it is what it is, people. The only thing people was happy about was that Errol Spence answered it without juvenility. He was very mature about his response. He said, we both want the fight. He acknowledged two sides of the primary players, and that is Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. He acknowledged both of us want to fight. We're in the stages of talking, and, you know, working on some details, and it's pretty much, it has to make sense for both fighters. You know what I'm saying? What that means, I don't know. Because I know Bud Crawford, regardless he has a WBO title or not, he's not going to go in there and take no lowball offer. But back to Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis is now at the front door. There ain't no stopping that. He's now at the front door of the welterweight division. There's no stopping it, bro. He's there. He ain't going nowhere. You know, somebody can't drive through that motherfucking stop and say, hey, you Ennis? Hey, come with me for a ride. You can't take him on a ride and shit and have a missus appointment. You can't do none of that shit. There's no way that you can remove Ennis from his position right now. That's signed, sealed, delivered. He's in the building. He's at the front door. He just waiting for that shit to come open so he can walk in there and prove that he's next up and get that championship title. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised some funny shit happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Oh, I forgot to mention the broken jaw shit. That's what I seen, man. Yeah, that's what they was hitting me up on the email about. I did think he had something wrong with his jaw. And I never said he had a broken jaw. I said it looked like he had something wrong with his jaw. But come to find out, he did very well, and that's not the case. But for Jaron Ennis, man, what are y'all YouTube channels gonna say now? Y'all can't sit up there and put Ennis off on Crawford for any conversation anymore. You can't make yourself look stupid. What are y'all gonna say now? When y'all up here spinning that toilet roll and flushing the same narratives. Jaron Ennis is Errol Spence's problem. Jaron Ennis is Errol Spence's problem. Period. You know how he can become Crawford's problem, though. You know he can become Crawford's problem. You know how that can become. It can become Crawford's problem. You know what I'm saying? When Crawford goddamn steps in there and swoop those titles, dog. Jaron Ennis can, you know, change over and say, okay, all right. You already done beat Errol Spence. Now I gotta take y'all. Hey, we don't know what we're gonna see. Errol Spence can get up out of here cleaning, you know, free and clear, losing the titles to Bud Crawford. Now it comes down to Bud Crawford on when he pick up the damn undisputed, whether he want to stay at 47 or move up to 54, vacate. It wouldn't be a duck. The man would be a 2-division undisputed champion. You think we give a damn about him fighting Jaron Ennis at 47? If he's still undefeated, y'all, he go in there and defeat Errol Spence Jr., who is not Jaron Ennis, and pick up the undisputed titles. I would absolutely recommend to him go to the next division that's hot. That's that 154. That's that 154. Because what's going to happen in 54, possibly Jermell Charlo can vacate the titles. If he chooses to, you know, now that he's accomplished it, he don't want to fight nobody else in 54. He can move up to 60. Ain't shit going on in 60. It ain't shit going on in 60. So there's 2 divisions where Terrence Crawford can eat at, to be honest with you. He can get this plate. He can get this plate with Errol Spence. And then, you know, he have to figure out where he wants to stay down there and defend the titles. If not, vacate them and move up to 54, where an undisputed champion, there's an undisputed champion there in the name of Jermell Charlo. So therefore, if he chooses to vacate, it'll allow Terrence Crawford to possibly pick up a 4th division. And also, Errol Spence choose to move up. It'll allow for him to pick up a 2nd division world title. The one, in my opinion, out of Bud and Spence who needs it the most is Spence. Spence, he needs this undisputed. He needs it. He already seen his stablemate do it. He needs it. But the one thing about Spence, I'm going to say it right here, right now. The one thing about Spence and Jermell Charlo, Spence ain't him. Spence ain't him, y'all. I'm just going to be honest, bro. Spence ain't him right now. Y'all can quote me on that. Spence ain't him. When it comes to Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence, Spence might be on that pound for pound list, higher than Jermell Charlo, but in my opinion, Spence ain't him, dog. He ain't Jermell Charlo, bro. Nah. I don't even see him going round for round like that out the gate, taking that punching power from Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is proven he got that power. He's a heavier hitter than Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. He is. But Bud Crawford is a better boxer than Errol Spence, point blank period. And he's, in my opinion, a better boxer than Jermell Charlo. People up here jumping up and down. Yeah, Jerron Ennis, he's a switch hitter. Well, he didn't stay switch hitter too long. Like, I mean, how many rounds did he go again? How many seconds did he stay in the orthodox position? How many seconds was on the clock when he switched over to southpaw? So when Bud Crawford does it, people say, oh, he just do that for distraction. What the fuck was Jerron Ennis doing it for? You know what I'm saying? You have to look at it that way. Like, these guys who able to switch it, man, they do it just to give different looks, man, to give their opponent different looks. It's according to, you know, how much damage they can inflict in that southpaw orthodox stand. You know, it is what it is, bro. But man, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Jerron Ennis is Errol Spence's problem right now. I don't think that Jerron will ever have a chance at 47 to face Errol Spence. When he moves up to 54, probably. He may have an opportunity to face Terrence Crawford for the undisputed titles. But Terrence Crawford, he picks up undisputed in his second division, remains undefeated. Why stay there and defend it against a young hyena like Jerron Ennis? Vacate, absquatulate, relocate. All that Katie. Vacate, absquatulate, relocate. Shit. If you win a second division undisputed, move on to 54 and try to get your fourth division now, Terrence. Because we all know you got them beat Spence ass, so I'm not worried about that. It don't matter how he look, it don't matter how Charlo look. I'm not worried about that fight. Because, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Errol Spence ain't him, man. He ain't. I'm glad he was there at the fight, though, to support his boy. It'll allow the Spencerholics to be able to see their numero uno fighter go in there. But after watching that fight with Brian Castano and seeing that Castano have similar fighting style to Errol Spence, absent of the jab, because Errol Spence has a very solid, official, certified jab when he uses it. He ain't him, man. I want to hear people explain to me and break down like they always do on fighter breakdowns and predictions. Explain to me how you see that fight going. Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. You a fool to believe that all the shit you used to hear back in the day of Errol Spence fighting all these heavier guys and knocking them down, you know, what he did to Floyd Mayweather, what he did to Broner and all these other people. I told people, when Jamel Charlo comes in for a rematch, he has a different look in his eye, people. Jamel Charlo has that different look in his eye, dog. I don't know why they be out there in public just acting stupid, acting like fools, man. Acting like what they used to call that. Damn, I'm getting old. What's that word I'm looking for? Anyway, they be out in public acting opposite of what they can actually do in the ring. And right now, Jamel Charlo, man, he has bragging rights, bro. There ain't no way around it. He has bragging rights. I was a very competitive person when I was doing my thing. Very competitive. That means, like I told you before, if I went out and partied a little bit and had some drink, and I was, I was pretty nice. The people who I was at the club with was nice. When I got home, I changed over and went for a run. People used to say, man, something wrong with you, dog. I remember I was off work and some of my people was heading to work, and they saw me going out for a run. They said fucked up their whole day because they was feeling like shit, and they knew what we had just done. We was out there at the club partying, and they saw me out there on the run. And I ain't gonna lie, the first part of it, yeah, it's fucked up, but mentally, all you gotta do, I mean, I'm not going through this. It ain't about me. I'm just saying, like, Jamel Charlo, he has bragging rights. The look that he had on his face in the Tony Harrison rematch, the look that he had on the face, the calmness and shit. He always gonna cock his head to the left. Charlo did what he's supposed to do, bro. Period. I can't take nothing away from the brother, but I just don't want to hear this African shit when you up here trying to tear down your own people who are Africans, so to speak. Nothing changes with me on that, man. I don't like that. I can go to all these cards and I can cover these cards. But you piss off a black fighter, they tell another black fighter who know a fighter that might be black, and then they all try to stop you from getting credentials and shit. I don't know why that's like. I know right now, if I drop some names of some individuals who did that, I'll never get another press credential. And you know these fighters too. I read a comment, Ennis gonna have to see Spence. Look, he's in a position to see Spence. It ain't no Ghana. I don't think if Spence, which I know he will, if he take this fight with Crawford, or not. I said this on live before. I said the cheapest way on how to come off that belt and get your opponent in the ring is Ennis. Obviously, because he ain't proven himself, and he's just looking for the opportunity. Like, he just want to be there. He's hungry to be in that situation. Just put me in the situation. Just like Bivol said, I agreed to all Canelo's demands. I just wanted to be in the ring. That's what Bivol mentioned. See, it ain't like that with Crawford. Crawford ain't just negotiating just to be anywhere. Take my wallet out of my pocket. Crawford ain't just, there to be there. He been there already. So they gonna have to pay the man. So it's all up to what PBC wants to do. We already seen what Teofimo Lopez did. You know what I'm saying? Teo, he wasn't in a position where he had a mandatory, he had to fight Devin Haney, but he could have fought Devin Haney for all the straps to leave no doubt. He chose not to give Devin Haney that opportunity to fight Kambosos. Now, it's quite different in the 47, at 47, because now he has two options. He can fight Boots Ennis, or he can fight Terrence Crawford. It's all about if he believes he needs the money. Which fight will he make the most money? You know what I'm saying? I would assume it'll be Terrence Crawford. But also, I can assume it'll be, you know, he'll still make the most money out of the two fighters with Jaron Ennis. And I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk like people think. You know what I'm saying? Jaron Ennis face Errol Spence. Custodial Clayton ain't him, y'all. Clayton ain't Spence. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Clayton ain't Spence. Know that. Y'all high on, look, y'all cats high on Jaron Ennis because it's an easy selection process. Y'all have made career opportunities on this YouTube. You have chosen YouTube to be your career. So that means you got to sit your ass down in front of this camera and find new fighters to talk about. And Jaron Ennis is in the conversation of a lot of people. So therefore, he's a young, I can't even call Jaron Ennis a lion though. Jaron Ennis is different. I just gotta call him a young warrior, you know, coming up in the game. You know what I'm saying? He fights like that. He has confidence. His style is likable. And right now, all he has to do is build up his profile with each fight. That's all Jaron Ennis has to do. I like how he was, you know, putting it out there, talking his trash a little bit, casting that reel for Errol Spence, who was sitting right down the second row. And I like that. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't over the top. Anyone at this point in time, like, you have to be just an unlikable individual not to appreciate Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? He's just a likable guy. Like, he's a legitimate boxer. His skills are respectable. He's just in an equation. He's just in a squad right now. A squad of names which he haven't proven himself on the highest level yet. He's there, almost. But you know what I'm saying? He's in that squad right now. The welterweight squad. Ennis, Spence, Crawford, Thurman, you know, Ortiz, if he's still around. That's where we at with him. This is going to be an interesting compass on what direction these fighters choose to take. Is Errol Spence going to choose Jaron Ennis, or is he going to choose Terrence Crawford? I'm not just asking that as if I need an answer. It's just for general conversation, people. That's all it is. It's just for general conversation. That's all I'm saying. We don't know what decision is going to be made by the PBC, because we know these fighters aren't making these decisions by themselves. So like you always say, I got to get with Al. I got to get with Al. You know? So since you got to get with Al, I hope they don't have that Timothy Smith, you know, energy coming. We don't want to get no insults and none of that shit. But we'll see. And I want to give a big shout out to Larry Frazier and them, man. You know, the amateur tournament I'm just driving back from, that was up there in Hartsfield, South Carolina. You know, shout out to putting on a damn good card. Had 20 fights, very good card. I mean, it was boxes from all over. You know, Aiken, White Rock, Florida, North Carolina. Man, they put on a show. I haven't posted any pics yet, but you know, I'm pretty sure. When I get back, I'm drop the pics that I was able to get some of these amateur fighters, and the bouts was very entertaining, man. I like going to amateur fights when I can. To see these young warriors on the move. Some of them gonna make it to the top, some of them not. But in the amateur ranks, man, they just be throwing hands for days. Like they young, they're on a different point system, and you got to go in there and fight. You got to go in there and fight, man. Oh boy, you got to go in there and fight. You got to have that youth cardio about you. You got to have that. When you can just run on fumes. I mean, for real. Like those are days when your body can just run off adrenaline for hours. You know what I'm saying? And that's not saying you eat a nutritional meal. When you get older, you have to make sure your nutrition is right, your calories are right, and you know what I'm saying, you had enough rest. And you know what I'm saying, you got to warm up for a good 20 minutes. And then you got to go in there and go through the routine. Okay, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good. Can I get some water? Okay, you get some water, get hydrated. Shoot, when you're young, shit. Shout out to all the devil dogs that had a chance to roll with my comrades. You know, we got some went there and fired off some weapons in the outback in the countries of South Carolina. Look, it's been a while since I've been to some outback. But goddamn it, I was in the outback. We was in the outback, y'all. I'm from the South too. All I was thinking about was Rosewood, goddamn it. I was like, at least I got some ammo. I said, at least I didn't shoot all my ammo. I'm good. We was in the outback, man. We was in the country back. But it was good times though. Got to hang out with the champ Ray Mercer, with the fellas, man. It was cool. But man, that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling in. I'm about to get back and pay attention to this road, man. I definitely will be on later. You know what I'm saying? Because I really can't see the comments on my phone. But man, y'all hold it down, be safe. And we'll talk about this boxing a little bit later today once I get settled in back at the house. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.